This weekend was a long traveling weekend, and I had none but time to dissect Travis's newly released project and see if I can find a way to recreate the Travis Scott reverb. And I bet you never thought about it this way before. Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Fuego. If you haven't yet, please get subscribed and click the like button. All right, so we are going to use this little part of the ad-libs and see if we can get the reverb to bloom like they do on his latest Travis Scott's latest project. So all right, so in front of me here I have the Sheps Omni channel, and we have a little section, this little section here where you can bring an insert. And this little section we have the reverb. Usually that little section is all the way back over here. You know, as default, when you first open up this plugin, this little section is here, but for the purpose of this video, we want the reverb before all these modules, so we can process it the way that we want to process it. And the reverb we have there is the Reverb, and it sounds like this. All right, so this is the little part of the ad-libs that we're gonna use to kind of make the reverb bloom like they do. All right, so first thing we want to do is kind of like a show and tell. I've already set this up. I just want to turn the modules on so you can hear what it sounds like. So what I have going on here, I have a little bit of a distortion after the reverb. All right, so it makes the reverb really excited. So it excites the reverb. Here before, after. All right, so you can really hear the crunch in the reverb, and I'm cranking it as much as I'll get. So it's even harmonics. Again before, after. All right, so it's mostly like low end, not low end, but low mid harmonics. All right, so the next module we're gonna turn on is the DS to the second power. So what we're doing here, we're just de-essing the reverb, taking out some of the harsher sibilants from the reverb, from this part of the, so it's got two parts. So we got DS number 1, DS number 2. So for this part, we're just de-essing, and we're moving frequency from, I moved it. It was right here somewhere. So so it was set around 8-9K, right? Before, after. So it kind of like smoothed out that CH sound, that sh sound. All right, so we want to make the reverb as, so right now it's pretty dense, and we want to kind of like loosen it up a little bit. And to do that, then we're gonna use the second part of the de-essing module, and we're gonna set it right around 219. So right around what that fundamental frequency is for his voice. We're gonna set it right around there, and then use that band as a multi-band compressor instead of a de-esser, and have that kind of like compress the fundamental frequency of his voice, but in the reverb. So here's what that sounds like. Before, well, let's do just this part. Before, after. Yeah, so it's a little less dense. It's so there's less low end in the reverb. All right, so we're gonna skip the EQ module, go straight to the compressor module. So we're using the Opto flavor in a stereo fashion, and compress a fair amount of it, and this is what it sounds like. Huh. You hear that blooming and that how do you say release or decay, a longer decay. All right, so we're gonna use that before. All right, after. All right, so we lost a little bit of gain, but that's okay. We can always make that up right here if we wanted to. All right, but we don't need all that extra gain in the reverb. All right, so just the reverb by itself, with all these modules turned on. That's really nice. I like how that turned out. So now, in order to have it kind of bloom the way I wanted to, I had to kind of like automate the so I had to automate the output of the reverb to kind of bloom and shrink as it goes into the first verse here, because you don't want that decay going on for too long. Okay, so I'm turning on read for the automation. So you see the automation here. So it looks like this. And just so you can see what the plugin is doing as the automation is doing its thing. I'm gonna bring this right over here.
Yeah, flow bananas if.
There it is. All right, so I'm just gonna mute this. I'll go like this. Might have been easier to even do this before. Now with this.
Yeah, flow bananas if you ever wanted to rise and know me, just get you high.
All right, so you have this Omni channel. You also have the mix hub, the CLA mix hub, with that same exact kind of feature where they allow you to bring in, a plugin or a waste plugin. In this case, I'm doing something else with this, but it's kind of like the same sort of idea where you where instead of maybe adding another compressor, if you're doing effects, you add another effect, and then you can use these different modules to process the effect in a way that you want to process it, in a way that makes sense for what you're going for. All right, and this is pretty much it for this one. I don't know if yeah, so this one is doing something like a slap delay. It's pretty much a slap delay into a room. It sounds really good. So we'll leave that one for another video, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Travis Scott Reverb. Again, thanks for watching. My name is Fuego. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss any of these great tips on how to get your mix all the way up to par with the pros. And I'll catch you in the next one.